I'll leave this, you can read this in your own time. These tables are there. So let's go on to this important one, which is home production, what people, produce themselves, right? And home production is a percentage of food, well, 37, 40% in rural areas, that's to be expected, lower percentage in urban areas. But what you don't expect is this. This is home production as a percentage of food. Urban, you can expect it to decline because people are now consuming more rice, noodles, flour products and all that. But what about in the rural areas? Even in rural areas, home production as a percentage of food has gone down. And you would expect that when people are doing badly in rural areas, that they would be reducing their reliance on cash expenditures and growing and consuming their own foods. They're not doing it. I have talked, anecdotally to people who have roots in rural areas, and they tell me that even rural Indo-Fijian farmers, who have been suffering very badly in the decline of the sugar industry, they don't plant their own foods. They go to the market and buy the food from the market. Because they've all got children living in urban areas who send them money home and all that. They couldn't be bothered growing their own foods. But this trend is there not just in Indo-Fijian rural people, it's also there for indigenous Fijian Ethiopian people as well. So there is a growing dependence on bought food and imported foods and a reducing self-reliance. And this trend is there. Agriculture needs to look at these figures and say, what on earth is happening where people are not growing their own food? Lots of complicated answers there. So let me start off by looking at carbohydrates. Right? It's interesting that Humphrey Cheng, at our super workshop, he said, oh, it's all very well for you economists to say, eat more dalo, eat more, cassava and all that. But what do you do when the price of potato is 70 cents a kilogram? As the Commerce Commission told us, the price of dalo, of course, is about $1.50. Not only that, when you buy a bundle of dalo, you're able to go and clean it, cut it, and all that. Whereas with rice and noodles, you just tell your kids, oh, I'm going to be late. Can you please put some dalo, put some rice in the pot, put some noodles in the pot, and cook the dinner? That's what our people are doing, of course. What this table shows, cassava and dalo has gone down in real terms. Potatoes, rice, flour, noodles has gone up. We'll have to stop the workshop here and I'll have to go home now. No, we have actually gone past our time because we started late. Unfortunately, unless we have the facts, about what's going on, the other people can't talk about it. And everywhere we actually, Krishna, we've ended up about an hour after our scheduled day. And nobody seems to sort of want to sort of rush through. Well, I'll try and rush through. Let's speed up. Okay. A very interesting question that was raised earlier about why is there no women's groups and all these news groups. I'll tell you what, we were invited all of the women's groups to attend our conference. And in fact, I don't recollect any of them attending even our sober conference. But if we had held this conference in Auckland or Sydney, we can be sure they all have been there. So they're a real problem. Anyway, what we are seeing over here is that people are consuming more flour stuff, more noodles and all that, and you can go and look at the shopping baskets of rural people when they come to towns. This is what they're buying. And dalo and cassava and things are going down. And Chandra Dullara raised a very interesting point earlier, and to be honest, to talk about this, the real question you have to ask is not why are people eating more noodles and rice and less dalo and cassava. Real question to ask is, why is it that our rural producers of agricultural foods have not increased their productivity the way it has increased in rice and wheat and flour products internationally? In the end, if our own products do not come down in price and improve in quality, our people are not going to buy the local stuff, they're going to buy the imported stuff. So agriculture needs to have a big question mark is, how is it that the increased agricultural productivity in the international markets have not been followed in our own products? And this really, the more fundamental to question asked here is not why are people consuming more rice and noodles and rather less. Anyway, that requires probably another workshop. So the worsening of rural root crops is in fact bad at all quintile levels. It's not just a problem for the rich, it's also a problem for the poor. And in some places our poor in fact are worsening even more. So local root crops have been replaced by rice and noodles. Both these graphs